fortress out of pride and a hollow name, trying to protect the part of me that felt ashamed. The walls were high, but the foundation was made of sand, holding on to power that I didn't understand. The fuel is internal, a noise that I used to feed, confusing what I wanted with the things I didn't need. I was the king of a kingdom that was made of glass, watching all the shadows as the winter started to pass. It's a fragile kind of ego and a reflection so true, sifting through the old just to find the version of the new. The lesson is a hammer, but the growth is a quiet light, learning how to see the stars in the middle of the night. I audited the mirror and I didn't like the view, stripping back the layers till I found the part that's true. There's a power in the breaking, a glory in the fall, writing out the truth on the surface of the wall. The focus is personal, an honest kind of sight, turning off the neon just to see the inner light. I'm dismantling the armor that was getting in the way, listening to the things that the silence has to say. Everything is cracking just to let the essence through, between the man I was and the spirit that is new. No more being blinded by the pressure of the street, inside the honest reflection, the alignment is complete. It's a fragile kind of ego and a reflection so true, sifting through the old just to find a version of the new. The lesson is a hammer, but the growth is a quiet light, learning how to see the stars in the middle of the night. I'm carrying a mountain that nobody can see, a heavy-handed ghost sitting right in front of me. The expectations rising like the water in the drain, trying to find the rhythm in the middle of the pain. The fuel is internal, a clenching of the jaw, living by the pressure of an unwritten law. I kept the windows closed just to keep the noise inside, looking for a place where the spirit doesn't hide. It's a silent kind of pressure and a release from within, learning how to lose just to find a way to win. The lesson is a weight, but the growth is a breath, choosing every life over every little death. I audited undid the tension and I found a hidden key. Turning off the engine just to set the essence free. There's a power in the exhale, a glory in the sigh. Looking at the world with a steady-handed eye. The focus is personal, a structural kind of peace. Watching how the static and the heavy thoughts decease. I'm opening the valves and I'm letting out the steam. Waking up the logic from the center of the dream. Everything is open and the air is getting thin. Finally forgiven where the shadows used to win. No more being strangled by the silence of the night. Inside the inner release, I'm stepping into light. It's a silent kind of pressure and a release from within. Learning how to lose just to find a way to win. The lesson is a weight, but the growth is a breath. Choosing every life over every little death. From within, learning how to lose just to find a way to win. To find a way to win. The lesson is a weight, but the growth is a breath. Choosing every life over every little death. I'm watching how the record skips on the same old line. A loop of heavy habits that I used to call mine. The same mistakes as shadows that follow me around. Looking for a logic that was never meant to be found. The fuel is internal, a circle that I need to break. Counting every step and every stumble that I make. I was driving in a circle on a road with no end, waiting for the broken parts to finally start to mend. It's a broken pattern and a choice that I made. Standing in the sunlight while the old versions fade. The lesson is a circle, but the growth is a line. Learning how to own what is actually mine. It's a broken pattern and the choice that I made. I audited the routine and I saw the hidden trap. Tracing out the boundaries on a different kind of map. There's a power in the no, a glory in the stop. Building up the mountain from the bottom to the top. The focus is personal, a conscious kind of will. Finding all the movement in the part that is still. I'm cutting through the rhythm of a life I outgrew. Listening to the heartbeat of a version that is new. Everything is shifting, I'm changing the direction. Moving past the mirror and the ego's reflection. No more being captured by the cycles of the day. Inside the conscious choice, I am finding my own way. It's a broken pattern in the choice that I've made. Standing in the sunlight while the old versions fade. The lesson is a circle, but the growth is a line. Learning how to own what is actually mine. piece of broken pattern. I'm weighing out the baggage in the middle of the hall, tracing every shadow that is leaning on the wall. I carried all these stories till they felt just like my skin, forgetting where the outer world is trying to begin. The fuel is internal, a gravity I used to own, building up a monument out of every heavy stone. The air is getting crowded with the things I didn't say, waiting for the moment when the gray begins to fade. Is an emotional weight and a gentle letting go, learning how to move with the rhythm of the flow. The lesson is the anchor, but the growth is the sail. Finding out the spirit is a story, not a jail. I audited the memory and I saw the heavy chain, washing out the salt from the texture of the pain. There's a power in the opening, a glory in the hand, watching how the water starts to settle on the sand. The focus is personal, a structural kind of release, negotiating terms for a long-awaited peace. I'm uncurling the fingers and I'm letting out the grip, watching every heavy thought begin to lose its ship. Everything is lighter when the truth is in the room, cleaning out the corners with a metaphorical broom. No more being buried by the seasons of the past. Inside the gentle letting go, the alignment's going to last. Just let it go, just let it go. It's an emotional weight and a gentle letting go, learning how to move with the rhythm of the flow. The lesson is the anchor, but the growth is the sail. Finding out the spirit is a story, not a jail. Kept the secrets like a currency I couldn't spend, a broken language that I didn't want to lend. The silence was a room where the shadows used to meet, watching watching all the truth hiding underneath the sheet. The fuel is internal, the pressure in the throat. Watching every heavy word begin to lose its bow. I was burying the evidence in the center of the chest, waiting for the moment when the spirit needed rest. It's an unspoken pain, and the truth finally revealed, breaking through the scar tissue that was never really healed. The lesson is the silence, but the growth is the sound, building up the logic on a newly holy ground. I audited the fracture and I found the hidden light, tracing out the anatomy of the middle of the night, yeah. There's a power in the name and the glory in the word, speaking all the syllables that nobody has heard. The focus is personal, a structural kind of honesty, refusing to be captured by the weight of the modesty. I'm pulling back the curtain and I'm letting in the day, watching every unspoken thought begin to find its way. I held the blueprint like a weapon in my hand, trying to dictate how the ocean meets the sand. A calculation for the wind and for the rain, ignoring all the wisdom that was hidden in the strain. The fuel is internal, a tightness in the grip, refusing to acknowledge that I'm captain of a ship that's moving on its own through the center of the night, chasing after versions of a manufactured lie. It's a false control and a mind surrendered wide, learning how to travel with the movement of the tide. The lesson is the struggle, but the growth is the release, finding out that letting go is a structural kind of peace. I audited the effort and I found it was a ghost, standing in the way of what I really needed most. There's a power in the quiet, a glory in the drift, feeling how the gravity begins to make a shift. The focus is personal, a horizontal flow, learning how to let the heavy expectations go. I'm the stream. Waking up the essence from the center of the dream. Everything is moving even when I'm standing still. Governed by a logic that is larger than the will. No more being strangled by the need to get it right. Inside the surrendered mind, I'm stepping into light. It's a false control and a mind surrendered wide. Learning how to travel with the movement of the tide. The lesson is the struggle, but the growth is the release. Finding out that letting go is a structural kind of peace. There's a riot in the chapel and a storm inside the cell. Two versions of the truth with the story left to tell. One is shouting for the glory, one is whispering the fear. Watching how the static starts to interfere with what is clear. The fuel is internal, a friction in the bone, governed by a logic that I've never really known. I'm auditing the argument, the yes and the no, waiting for the heavy-handed pressure just to go. It's an inner conflict and a spirit balance fine, drawing out the border of the horizontal line. The lesson is the friction, but the growth is the core. Finding out exactly what the spirit's looking for. I audited the tension and I found the middle ground. Learning how the silence is a structural kind of sound. There's a power in the center, a glory in the state. Watching every conflict begin to fade away. The focus is personal, a magnetic kind of peace. Asking for the noise of the ego to decease. I'm standing in the clearing where the voices finally rest, passing every single evolutionary test. Versions are dead. It's an inner conflict and the spirit balance fine. Drawing out the border of the horizontal line. The lesson is the friction, but the growth is the core. Finding out exactly what the spirit's looking for. The air is thick with every word I chose to keep. A heavy kind of silence where the old versions sleep. The clock is ticking like a hammer on the floor, watching for the handle on a long forgotten door. The fuel is internal, a gravity that stays, counting all the minutes in a structural kind of haze. I was running from the quiet till the quiet was the wall, waiting for the echoes of a distant kind of call. It's a heavy silence and the healing kind of grace, finding the alignment in the middle of the space. The lesson is the way, but the growth is the bomb, building up the logic in the center of the calm. I audited the stillness and I found it was a friend, learning how the broken parts finally start to mend. There's a power in the being, a glory in the state, watching every heavy thought begin to fade away. The focus is personal, a presence made of light, washing out the shadows in the middle of the night. I'm breathing in the quiet and I'm letting in the flow, watching every secret finally start to let me go. The noise has to cease, finally understanding the silence is the peace. No more being frightened by the vacuum in the chest. Inside the healing presence, I am finally at rest. It's a heavy silence and a healing kind of grace, finding the alignment in the middle of the space. The lesson is the way, but the growth is the bomb, building up the logic in the center of the calm. I'm reading the scars like they're pages in a book, learning how to give the past a different kind of look. The winter was a teacher that I didn't want to hire, refining all the essence in the center of the fire. The fuel is internal, the structural kind of dust, building up the logic and the structural kind of trust. I was looking for the exit till I found the inner door, realizing that the struggle was exactly what was for. It's a sacred lesson and a quiet kind of growth. I'm standing in the center and I'm honoring them both. The pain is the teacher, but the silence is the home. wanted the failure and I found the hidden gem. Learning how the branches always start inside the stem. There's a glory in the process, a power in the wait. Watching how the gravity begins to calibrate. The focus is personal, a high vibrational state. Moving past the ego and the evolutionary gate. Down, planting all the wisdom in the center of the dawn. Waiting for the silence just to trigger off the spark. Everything is necessary, everything is right. Turning all the shadows into columns of the light. No more being scattered by the lessons of the day. Inside the quiet grove, I am finding my own way. It's a sacred lesson and a quiet kind of growth. I'm standing in the growth. I'm standing in the center and I'm honoring them both. The pain is the teacher, silence is the home. Building up the spirit underneath the hollow dome. There's a fever in the attic and a static in the brain. Trying to find the logic in the middle of the rain. The what if is a ghost that's always knocking at the door, asking for a version that I don't be anymore. The fuel is internal, a spinning of the wheel, confusing all the shadows with the things that I real. I was ordered in the noise till the noise was the king, waiting for the silence to finally start to sing. It's a restless thought and a peace found within, finding where the spirit and the clarity begin. The lesson is the noise, but the growth is the still, governed by the patience and the power of the will. I audited the worry and I found it was a lie. Watching how the clouds start to move across the sky. There's a power in the anchor, a glory in the deep, honoring the promises that I'm supposed to keep. The focus is personal, a structural kind of calm, applying all the silence like a high vibrational bomb. I'm turning off the engines in the middle of the flight, watching every restless thought fade into the night. Everything is settling, the volume's going down. Understanding how the silence wears the crown. No more being captured by the static in the head. Inside the peace within, the old virgins are dead. Restless thought in the peace found within, finding where the spirit and the clarity begin. The lesson is the north, but the growth is the still, governed by the patience and the power of the will. untangle in the threads of a life I used to lead. Planting different flowers where I used to plant the weed. The history is a magnet that's pulling at the skin, forgetting where the story was supposed to even begin. The fuel is internal, a ghost in the corridor, looking for a logic that I don't need anymore. I was holding on to shadows till my hands began to ache, counting every promise that I knew I had to break. It's a past attachment in the present kind of light, learning how to see the day in the middle of the night. The lesson is the memory, but the growth is the now, living by the clarity of the evolutionary vow. I audited the luggage and I left it at the gate, watching how the gravity begins to calibrate. There's a power in the presence, a glory in the sea, honoring the version that I'm struggling to be. The focus is personal, a sharp and steady lens, washing out the static where the heavy thinking ends. I'm cutting through the fog of a long ago desire, refining all the essence in the center of the fire. Everything is visible, the mirage has to fade, finally moving past the debt that never was repaid. No more being captured by the versions of the past. Inside the present clarity, the alignment's going to last. Past attachment in the present kind of light, learning how to see the day in the middle of the night. The lesson is the memory, but the growth is the now, living by the clarity. So past attachment in the present kind of light, learning how to see the day. The lesson is the memory, but the growth is the now, living by the clarity. The alignment's going to last. It's a past attachment. It's a past attachment. It's a past attachment. I kept the map of every battle drawn inside the skin, a private kind of history where the heavy thoughts begin. The scars are silent witnesses of everything I've known, turning every fracture into a structural kind of stone. The fuel is internal, a medicine in the dark, looking for the healing in the middle of the spark. I was masking all the damage with a high vibrational pose, waiting for the silence to reveal what the spirit knows. It's a hidden scar and the healing open wide, finally letting everything come out from the inside. The lesson is the wound, but the growth is the mend, learning how to be my own beginning and my end. I audited the trauma and I found the hidden light, tracing out the texture of the middle of the night. There's a power in the opening, the glory in the raw, honoring the logic of a higher kind of law. The focus is personal, a structural kind of grace, washing out the history from the center of the space. I'm pulling off the bandages and letting in the day, watching every hidden scar finally start to fade away. Is new. Finally understanding what the spirit had to do. No more being frightened by the markings on the soul inside the open healing. I am finally made whole. It's a hidden scar and the healing open wide. Finally letting everything come out from the inside. The lesson is the womb, but the growth is the mend. Learning how to be my own beginning and my end. It's a hidden scar. Hidden scar. It's a hidden scar. It's a hidden scar. Learning how to be my own beginning. I'm standing at the edge where the pavement starts to end, afraid to lose the version that I didn't have to defend. The old shoes feel comfortable even when they're tight, watching how the shadows try to negotiate the light. The fuel is internal, a resistance in the knee, refusing to acknowledge the person I'm supposed to be. I was clinging to the wreckage till the wreckage was my home, afraid of every territory where I'd have to roam alone. It's a fear of the change and an evolution embraced, looking at the future with a steady-handed face. The lesson is the anger, but the growth is the tide, moving through the logic of the version on the inside. I audited the safety and I found it was a cage, learning how to flip the heavy texture of the page. There's a power in the step, in the glory, in the new, honoring the spiral in the evolutionary view. The focus is personal, a structural kind of shift, learning how to value every single kind of drift. I'm stepping off the shoreline and I'm jumping in the deep, waking up the promises I'm finally gonna keep. I saw a stranger wearing all my favorite clothes, living out a version that the outer world chose. I was light years away from the center of the chest, watching how the spirit never got a chance to rest. The fuel is internal, the signal getting weak, searching for a language that I didn't want to speak. I was an alien living in a structural kind of skin, waiting for the moment for the return to begin. It's a distant self and an inner kind of return, watching all the bridges that I really had to burn. The lesson is the distance, but the growth is the home, building up the logic underneath the heavy dome. I audited the absence and I found the hidden track, learning how to navigate the long way back. There's a power in the homecoming, a glory in the core, recognizing every single syllable of more. The focus is personal, a structural kind of peace, watching how the static and the heavy thoughts deceive. I'm walking through the hallway where the light and shadow meet, feeling every vibration from the crown to the feet. Everything is familiar, the walls are starting to speak. Finding everything I was supposed to seek. No more being scattered by the pressure of the far inside. The inner return, I am exactly where you are. It's a distant self and an inner kind of return, watching all the bridges that I really had to burn. The lesson is the distance, but the growth is the home, building up the logic underneath the heavy dome. I stopped the war with the mirror and the shadow on the floor, realizing that the fiction wasn't serving anymore. The must be and the should have were a heavy kind of dust, watching out the static from the structural kind of trust. The fuel is internal, a softening of the heart, watching how the fragmented begins to fall apart. I was holding on to iron until the iron turned to gold, releasing every story that I didn't want to hold. It's a self-acceptance and the strength wanted the power and I found it in the yield. Standing like a pillar in the middle of the field. There's a glory in the it is, a power in the now, honor in the silence, in the evolutionary vow. The focus is personal, a structural kind of peace. Watching how the density and heavy thoughts decease. I'm reclaiming every corner of the spirit I have known, building up the kingdom on a newly holy stone. Yeah, everything is grounded, the roots are going deep. Awakening the promises I'm finally gonna keep. No more being scattered by the struggle of the day. Inside the strength reclaimed, I am finding my own way. It's a soft acceptance and the strength reclaimed at last. Walking through the present with no debt to the past. The lesson is the yielding, but the growth is the spine. Living by the logic of the horizontal line. But the growth is the spine. Living by the logic of the horizontal line. The dust has settled on the places where I used to fight. Watching how the morning sun begins to claim the night. I'm no longer chasing versions that were never mine to hold. Watching how the iron finally turned itself to gold. The fuel is internal, a structural kind of grace. Finding all the symmetry in the center of the space. I was an architect of shadows till I learned to build with light. Standing in the center of a newly sharpened sight. It's a quiet beat coming in the solar line so deep. Honoring the promises that I finally get to keep. The lesson was the journey, but the growth is the stay. Moving to the rhythm of a higher kind of faith. I audited the essence and I found the final key. Learning how to simply be the person that is me. There's a power in the being, a glory in the still, governed by the patience and the power of the will. The focus is personal, a horizontal flow. Watching every heavy thought finally start to let me go. I'm standing in the doorway where the air is clean and new. Finally understanding what the spirit had to do. Everything is balanced, the scales are finally even. Living in the version that I finally believe in. No more being scattered by the noise of the day. Inside the alliance, all I am finding my own way. It's a quiet becoming and a soul aligned so deep. Honoring the promises that I finally get to keep. The lesson was the journey, but the growth